Let's take a look at the seasons.
Whether it's spring, summer, autumn, or the depths of winter, there are three ways to talk about the seasons all across the planet.
Let's talk about the one I think most of us are familiar with, the astronomical seasons, the spring equinox, the summer solstice, the fall equinox, and the winter solstice. All of these has to do with the Earth's tilt, revolving around when the sun passes over the equator. During the course of the year, the sun's direct rays are somewhere between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, about 23.5 degrees north and south latitude respectively. Depending on where the sun's rays are over the equator determines what season it is, and that depends on what hemisphere you're in. So take the northern latitudes, for example. In the northern hemisphere, well, when the sun's rays are directly over the equator, just around March, well, we're talking about the spring equinox. But as we go into April and May and June, those sun's direct rays move further north and north and north until they reach the Tropic of Cancer, right around Cuba. That becomes the summer solstice, right around June 20th. And then as the sun's rays get further and further south, they go back to the equator. That's the fall equinox that we see around September 20th, and then eventually it goes down to the Tropic of Capricorn, which is right around the northern fringes of Australia. That is around December 20th. Then there are the seasons that are determined upon the temperature, and it probably comes as no surprise that these are the ones that meteorologists like to use, climatological seasons as they're called. The whole year is broken into 4 quarters, so each month will be part of a season, and there's 3 months into a season. The warmest 3 months of the year, that's climatological summer, and for most of the United States, that's June, July, and August. There's then climatological fall for September, October, November, climatological winter, December, January, and February, and then climatological spring from March, April, and May. The advantages to climatological seasons are that it's cut and dry. You know what you're getting and when you're getting it. The seasons always start on the first of the month. They always end at the end of the month. The other advantage of climatological seasons are that they actually tell you about the weather and what to expect during that season. Take fall, for example. September, October, and November typically bring cooler weather. Astronomical fall, which usually starts around September 20th, yes, does feel fall-like. But by the time you get towards December 20th, you could have temperatures below freezing even during the middle of the day, and you could be talking about snow, even big snow during that time. There's also one more way to define the seasons, by the sun. The solar seasons take the 12-month year and separate that into 4 equal parts, depending on the darkest, brightest, and the 2 in-between quarters of the most daylight. Take summer, for example. That runs from about early May until early August, a 3-month period of time. The main argument for using the solar seasons is because the astronomical seasons shouldn't be the beginning or end point of our longest or shortest days of the year. Let's compare solar to astronomical summer. Solar summer begins during the beginning of May, when we're starting to see a good amount of daylight well into the evenings. But astronomical summer doesn't start until the longest day of the year occurs, which is around June 20th. And then as we go deeper into the astronomical summer season, well, the days are already getting shorter and shorter. The disadvantage to the solar seasons are that it's not really talking about the weather during that time of the year. Let's take summer, for example, again. While many people would think that early May is certainly warm, I don't think many of us would say that early May is the hottest part of the year, and climatologically speaking, that is not true. On the other end of the summer spectrum here, by early August, we are at the end of the peak summer heat, but there's still plenty of 90s, 100s, or even hotter to go across most of the country as we go deeper into August and even into part of September. For which one is the best one to use? Well, we'll leave that up to you. For the Press of Atlantic City and Lee Enterprises, I'm meteorologist Joe Martucci.